Hiya. I wanted to show you something that I did with my psychologist. I did it about 2.5 years ago, but I still find it useful, and I keep it actually stuck on the inside of one of my kitchen cupboards so that I can take a look every time I feel I need to. And I thought maybe by sharing it with you, you might be able to sit down and do one of your own and get as much use from it as what I have. So this is it. It's like a big spider's web, basically. And what it is most people with mental health problems, whether that be, depression, anxiety, self-harm, eating disorders, they kind of go around in circles. And this exercise is all about recognising these circles that you go around in, and then you add exits to the circles. And once you're able to recognise the circles and then recognise a way to exit them, the whole idea is then you're able to kind of challenge your thoughts and try and implement the exits. So if I talk you through mine, it's going to be really difficult because it's such a large piece of paper. But at the top, I've got criticising, blaming, and that leads me to be criticised and blamed. And then rejecting and abandoning, and that leads me to be rejected and abandoned. So by that, we kind of meant that I can be quite criticising and blaming of people, and it's through fear of actually being criticised and blamed. And then again, the rejecting and abandoning, I will reject and abandon people, more for the fear of it happening to me. So it's almost as if I get in there first before somebody has a chance to do that to me. And then underneath that we have my beliefs, and the first one here is I am not good enough, I'm worthless. Others are critical and judgmental. Others think I am attention seeking, and others cannot be trusted. So those are the kind of beliefs that I have. The trust one has always been a very big thing for me, and I've been seeing my psychologist for just over 3 years, and I can honestly say it's probably only been in the last 7 or 8 months that I've actually trusted her, and she is probably the first person I've ever truly 100% trusted. And it's quite a strange feeling for me to trust somebody that much, because I've spent my whole life avoiding trusting people. So anyway, those beliefs lead to these feelings, which is sad, angry, lonely and scared. So obviously, because of those beliefs, I end up with those feelings. Then we can start with the first circle, which is here, and it's feeling alone, don't want to be around others. And then we go up to the next one. It's quite tricky. I try to get close to others, but I feel engulfed, taken over, and that's a very big thing for me. I spend a lot of time by myself, and I actually like being by myself. And when I am around people, quite often I feel really kind of invaded and taken over by people. And it's not them, it's me, it's the way I feel about it. And then that leads me to withdraw and to remain alone. And then that brings me back to my beliefs that I am not good enough, that I'm worthless, etc. So you can see how it goes around in the circle. But we added in an exit. So here's the exit. And the exit is to learn to be more open, to learn to balance my own needs with others. So by that, I put into practice, learning to be around people, that if it got too much, I could step back, so I wasn't being engulfed by people. Right, the next one is, in order to avoid being seen as attention-seeking and being overwhelmed by my emotions and worrying and hurting others, then I try to appear fine around others or withdraw. I am left alone with my problems and they build up and don't get sorted. I feel alone and overwhelmed and I self-harm. And then I feel guilty and alone, others worry and are upset, and that leads me back to the beginning again. So we put an exit on this one, which is down here, and the exit is to learn to share my feelings and problems, to learn more adaptive ways of coping. So instead of trying to keep everything in, I try and share things with my family and my friends a bit more. And so therefore, if I'm more honest with them, then the whole idea is then they don't worry as much, because a big problem that I worry about is that my family and friends worry about me and I feel guilty about that. So the whole idea is by sharing bits with them, rather than keeping everything to myself, it kind of makes them less worried in the long run. Then the next one is feeling worthless. I want to improve my life, but I fear that if I have anything good, I will eventually mess it up, and then I give up trying, and then nothing changes. So this kind of isn't a circle really, it's kind of a dead end. Don't know if you can see that. It's really tricky. So that one kind of is a dead end, and nothing ends up changing. Right, the next one is, in order to avoid criticism, rejection and hurting others, I try to please others and do what I believe they expect / want of me. It works to a degree, but I end up feeling taken advantage of and out of control. I avoid things and put things off. Others are critical / angry, and I feel angry and depressed. So that takes me back to the beginning again. And basically with that one, I try and please people too much, because I don't want them to criticise and reject me. So I will do things that I shouldn't have to do, just to please people. And it never works in the long run, because eventually I do feel taken advantage of, and then I start to avoid things and cancel things and put things off, and so then I end up back in the beginning. And so the exit for that one is, let's get that a bit closer. There we go. The exit for that one is to learn to balance my own needs with the needs of others and to assert myself. So by that you can see that there's loads of circles that you go around, but there are ways to exit those circles, and it's about recognising the circles that you do go around in, and then, like I say, learning to exit those circles. I'm sorry it's not been really very easy for you to see. I can't really think of any other way of showing it to you really, because it is quite big, but I think everyone's would be different, because everyone has their own thought patterns and problems, but if you can just recognise some of them and change them a little bit, then hopefully it'll kind of try and stop you from going round and round and round in that endless circle, which kind of always ends up spiralling as well, spiralling downwards. So yeah, give it a go. Like I said, I'm sorry there wasn't an easier way to show it to you, but hopefully you kind of got the gist of it. Okay, take care, bye.